This video was made possible by the Unlocking Company, the fastest and most affordable way to unlock your phone. We have seen budget 4K monitors from Samsung, Dell, and now ASUS has released one of their own. Since ASUS took their time and came in last, will their 4K monitor be better than its competition? That's what we are here to find out. This is Ed from TechSource, and let's get this started. So this monitor starts around $649 and it is priced to compete with both Dell and Samsung. Actually, Dell's 4K monitor does not even compete in this bracket because its refresh rate is only 30 Hz running on 4K, which is why we didn't even bother doing a video on it. But we are going to be comparing the ASUS 4K monitor with our Samsung 4K monitor in the next video, so those of you that want to see that, make sure to stick around. If you do decide to pick one of these up, then you can expect to find an HDMI cable inside, followed by a display port and the actual base mount, and lastly the power cable. Taking a look at the monitor, I noticed that the bezels are relatively the same size as Samsung's, coming in a little over than half an inch. Another thing that I noticed is that this monitor does not have buttons on the screen, also like the Samsung model. Instead, they are located in the back, which is once again a terrible idea. It can get really confusing figuring out which button you are supposed to press, and I'm not sure why ASUS decided to go with this route. I gotta say that the ASUS monitor is built really sturdy. They did a great job on the mount and it allows you to adjust it quite a bit, allowing you to tilt the monitor up to 20 degrees. Since it has a TN panel, you have to be able to position it in a way where you can view it perfectly, and this mount gives you all the options to do just that. The height is adjustable and you can also rotate the entire monitor vertically and have a triple monitor setup if that's something you're into. The best part about this is that the monitor also has VESA mounts, so if you decided to mount your monitor, then you can do that as well. Also on the back are the ports. Now this is something that bothers me personally, but I hate when the ports are facing downwards. It makes it really inconvenient to connect cables. ASUS did do something to mitigate this situation. They added this removable panel, which makes connecting the cables a little more convenient, but I would still prefer them to use a method similar to Samsung's monitor. Speaking of ports, down here you will find all the necessary connections, starting with the power, followed by two HDMI which are capped to 30 Hz, one DisplayPort 1.2 that runs in 60 Hz, and lastly your slots for audio. The color on the monitor, however, is great. The monitor uses 10-bit color, which means that it provides for a smooth color gradation for a more natural looking transition between hues. The monitor also adopts flicker-free technology, which essentially clears out distracting flickers that would show up on the screen. The monitor also uses eye care technology, which enable reading and dark room modes, which reduce the levels of blue light to ensure less eye strain and longer hours of use without fatigue. As I said earlier, it is a TN panel, which means that the viewing experience will change depending on the angle of the monitor, hence why ASUS gave you a versatile mount to use to make sure that you are getting the best possible viewing angle. So what do I think about the ASUS 4K monitor? I think for the price and what it brings to the table, it is definitely a solid competitor when it comes to budget 4K monitors. The only real competition that this monitor has is the Samsung model, which we are going to do a video on next, comparing the two side by side, and then and only then will I have a final verdict. There are quite a few features that the ASUS monitor has that the Samsung does not, and vice versa. But make sure to stick around for our comparison video coming up shortly. This is Ed from TechSource, and I will catch you in the next video.